And she was basically tricking and selling her own body to fund and like keep all of us high. And when I
Mm.
saw it was her on her, I felt so disgusted and like sick to my stomach that I was allowing my friend to do this for us, as well as like not trying to even help her, like put money in to like continue us keeping us getting high.
Mm. Okay, Mimi,
Yeah.
where you from and how old are you?
I'm originally from Hialeah, Miami, Florida. And I'm 31 years old.
31.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And were you born and raised in Hialeah area?
I was born and raised there, yes. Until I was about like, was it 5 or 6, and then we moved down to Broward, well, up to Broward Plantation area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mimi, did you grow up with both of your parents?
I grew up with just my mom and then my stepdad. And my dad, my real dad, was never really part of my life. He was in prison, and that's as much as we're allowed to know. My mom really wants to get too much into it.
Is he currently still incarcerated?
Yeah, actually, just recently got out of prison. Like I want to say, not even kidding, like maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And how was your relationship with your mom growing up?
It was really rocky. I feel like she had to do a lot to like kind of like maintain a roof for me and my. I have 4 sisters in total, but like from the same mom and dad, I have 2 sisters. So for me and my two same mom and dad sisters, she did a lot. So when she got married to my stepdad, she had to like sacrifice a lot and kind of like almost like be something she wasn't in a way to try to like keep him. And which I realized that now, I didn't know that then. And she did what she could with what she had, basically. I wish I knew that then the way I know now.
The
But
mom you know now, is it a different mom you knew when you were growing up?
completely. Mm, yeah.
Yeah. And how was your relationship with your stepdad growing up?
Oh man, that was it was really toxic. It's toxic. I was resentful towards him because I wanted my real dad, and he did the best he could when he could to be like the right father figure I needed, but it wasn't my real dad, and it wasn't his fault. But I realized that I hated him because it wasn't my real dad, which is
Mm.
really weird. But like that's so I would take that on him a lot, and that ultimately I feel like had a big deal and like a big part in like my mom and him both divorcing for sure. Yeah,
Did you keep in contact with him?
absolutely not.
You haven't spoke
No,
to him since.
no, not at all.
Do you kind of regret the way you treated him now, now that you're older?
I don't think I regret the way I treated him. I think I could have done things differently, but I think that everything happened the way it was supposed to.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
How's your relationship with your mom now?
That's an also complicated one, but I mean, I speak to her almost every day. Some days that we don't speak, and I know it's because she doesn't want to be reminded of like where it is that I'm doing or where I'm at in my life because it's not where she wants to see me at or where I want to see myself at. And so we kind of like distance ourselves from each other, but we know that that's also what we don't want to do because we don't know if like the last time we speak is the last time we will speak to each other.
Hmm.
So the life I'm living, the life I'm living now.
Now, Mimi, what about siblings? Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have 4 sisters.
No
Mm-hmm.
brothers.
No, but I'm the only boy.
Did your sisters grow up with you?
Yeah.
Same house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How was your relationship with them growing up?
Growing up with them, I was like I said, the only boy, so I had to be really like responsible and like like play like this like big brother like role archetype that I really like feel fit me, and I just feel like I could have done a lot of things differently then too, and I could have really been the big brother that they needed and like sought after, but I didn't because of my own selfish reasons and because of a lot of confusion that I was dealing with it myself and my sexuality and like just all in all like where I'm at now, like leading up to where I'm at now, like dealing with like how I was supposed to act and like I wasn't. I don't know. It's still confusing for me to this day, for sure.
So you felt like you were living who you truly were at that time.
I wasn't, but I luckily because I wasn't, I really forced myself and pushed and like paved the way for me to really live that way.
Mm.
And I always recommended that, and so even other people that don't, that I thought needed to do that, and I'm glad that I did talk to them in those ways because I did it for myself, and I'm now so much more content than I was then because I was so depressed and like
Right.
just not not content with my life at all, at all.
You felt like you had to play this macho role, which isn't really your
Mm,
character, right?
I did have to. I feel like I did have to, but at the same time, it was more like I had to do it too because it was like not only just to fit in, but because it was like it's like what society tells you you're supposed to do.
Mm.
You know, like what felt right for me wasn't. I was told was not okay, wasn't right, and was like really bad and like not just taboo, but really like sinful and just like distasteful, and people didn't like that at all.
Let's talk about those emotions you had. What was it that you felt like you truly were at that time?
I felt that I was really honestly just like lost, scared, confused, and I knew that I was always like homosexual or like I say the same sex, but also too I didn't know what that meant and whether or not like what I was supposed I didn't know what I was supposed to be. I didn't know like what the right answer was for anything at that time. So I didn't really even know if that's what I was at the time either.
Mm.
Sometimes I still don't feel like that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Now, did that impact the way you and your sisters had the relationship, or were they more accepting to your sexuality?
They were accepting to it. My sisters were, but also it was mostly because I grew up with four sisters. Like it was a lot easier for them to cope with the fact that oh okay well he's into guys like that's normal like we all are too so why is it so different? It's not, but I think the more they got into it and the more I started doing things that were not what other people were doing, which I could touch the subject on that a little bit more, like dressing up as a female and like identifying as a female or trans woman, like it was a lot for them to take in, a
Mm.
lot.
How's
Yeah.
your relationship with them right now?
I speak to them every day. Well, I mean, I speak to them every day, but
That's good.
I speak to them like yeah, definitely. I speak to them, and they worry about me, which I
Mm-hmm.
hate, but I like at the same time because it reminds me that like someone does care. But I
Mm.
don't want it to be. I feel like it's a little selfish for me sometimes to be like they care about me in that way, but because I'm doing something that's making them. It's like I'm lashing out or acting out, and I
Yeah.
don't like that for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mimi, have you been married before?
Never,
What about
no,
engaged?
no,
No.
never think I'll do that. No.
Are you currently in a relationship with anyone?
Absolutely not. I've only been in one relationship my whole life, and I don't think I would ever do it again. Probably, no, I will never do it again.
Okay, so you're more of a free spirit.
Yes. Yeah. Hmm?
And I'm guessing you have no kids.
None whatsoever, because I don't think it's fair to bring a child into this specific world now that we live in. I think it's absolutely selfish and not fair. I just don't think it's fair. Right. That's me personally.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi, what's your favorite TV show?
Oh, there's a TV show. I would have to say, mm, my favorite TV show. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with growing up. Honestly, I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer growing up a lot. That's my favorite TV shows, like I say.
Any favorite cartoons?
Favorite cartoons. Okay, favorite cartoons. That's a long list, but I'm gonna go with favorite cartoons. Oh my god, so many. I'm gonna go with so many. Oh man, I'm gonna go with just growing up wise. I like Dexter's Laboratory. I like Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter.
I like Dexter's Laboratory.
Hmm.
Yeah. Favorite? I don't
I
know
see you have
favorite.
a tattoo of Bart Simpson right there.
Yeah,
Did you like The Simpsons as well?
I love The Simpsons. I do love The Simpsons. I love cartoons in general, and I really like the like aesthetic of like the old cartoons. I don't like how cartoons are made now. They're all really perfect. The lines are perfectly drawn,
Hmm.
and like they're so like asymmetrical, and everything's like on time. Like everything's but for those cartoons then like you could see like the imperfections of it, and that's what I really liked a lot about it.
Right,
You can still enjoy it because of that.
right.
Uh, yeah.
What's your favorite color?
White. And I was going to say something about that. It's gonna be no, but like I like white because I think I read somewhere too that white is actually all the colors combined into it is like the color white,
Mm.
but also because the color white and it has to do a lot with my religion as well too. One of my saints is the color white is like so if you're wearing white, obviously if you have like some like a dirt or like a kind of like a stain, you can see the stain a lot more obviously vividly because the color white is gonna bring it out more, but that's beautiful in its own way because it's like you can still see that stain, but because of that, you can still be able to see the perfection of white altogether just because of that stain. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, it
so
does.
you
It
see
does.
like the perfection of white because the stain is there, so you can see that white is. You know, that's how I know it's weird, like super like trippy, but that's how I've always looked at it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have any poisons? Are you addicted to any drugs or alcohol?
Yeah, I'm actually addicted to fentanyl and recently crack. Um, what else?
When were you first introduced to hard drugs?
I was 17.
Were you around peers?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. And what was the first hard drug you ever tried?
First drug I tried was I would say weed. Weed would be hard. No, hard drug, right? Hard drug.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with ecstasy.
Did you know what it was when you first took it?
I didn't know what it was, and then I
Okay.
regretted it immediately after.
Okay. And from ecstasy, you started using other hard drugs.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Now, you said you're addicted to fentanyl as well?
Yeah.
When did you first try that?
I don't remember when I first tried fentanyl, but I know that I first tried opiates when I was 16, 17. And then when I first shot it up, I was also 16, 17. 17 years old, actually, when I first did it. I went straight to needles. The worst mistake of my life. The worst mistake of my entire life.
So you've been on hard drugs for quite a while now.
Uh-huh. Uh,
Have you
uh,
ever sought any type of help, rehabilitation, therapy?
uh-huh. Right.
You ever
Sure.
seek any help?
I was gonna help. I have a few times, but I always never really like fell through with it. I don't know. I didn't think that it was like legit. I felt like some of them were like cults, very cult like, and it was almost like I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't really like real, genuine ever to me.
So you have tried it before, but
Have.
it wasn't for you.
That wasn't for me. Yeah.
And that was what, rehab?
That was rehab. Yeah.
Have you ever tried therapy?
I had tried that.
That didn't work either.
It didn't work out. It didn't work.
Maybe what do you do as far as income? How do you make your money?
I boost, which means like stealing from stores or trick. Do a lot of like online domination stuff, which is basically like also tricking, but online, like like video sessions.
So you don't jump in and out of cars.
I do actually at the same time.
Okay.
Not,
And when did you first start prostituting?
I was 18. 18.
Is it due to the drugs?
I had to do the drugs, yes.
Support your habit.
Yeah,
Do you remember the first time you jumped into a car, or you
I do
did?
remember. I remember. I was in Davey, living Davey, my best friend at the time, and we all, like I said, like we all were like really young doing drugs, and the kid that actually got us all addicted to the drug, I should say he got us addicted to the drug, but introduced us to the drug. I believe he did it because he wanted more people to have the drug, be addicted to the drug in order to have more people to be able to throw in with him. So it wasn't always him that had to just throw the money in because it was really expensive.
Right.
I truly believe that's what it was, and I know that's what it was now because I'm in active addiction, and I can see like the mindset of like an addict being like, this will make help like sense, and it would help me like in the long run.
Right.
And so like I was saying, yeah. So
From that, you started
I started
jumping in and
thinking
out of
because
vehicle.
it was only one of us, my friend Brianna, rest in peace, who I actually have the same tattoo with here. This one, the Mew tattoo, and she was basically tricking and selling her own body to fund and like keep all of us high. And when I saw it was her on her, I felt so disgusted and like sick to my stomach that I was allowing my friend to do this for us, as well as like not trying to even help her like put money in to like continue us keeping us getting high because I was like like in my addiction, and I was lazy and I wanted to just like sit back. So because of that was the reason why I initially said, you know what, I'm gonna do this with you. I'm gonna help you do this. And we're gonna make money so it's easier. And that's how I personally started drinking.
Okay, so it's a little bit of shame, disgust, and guilt, kind of, and you decided to do it to support the habit, right?
Yeah.
Got you, got you. What's your educational background? Did you finish high school?
I didn't
No.
in high school. I was one credit off.
One credit. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, What's your current living situation right now?
I am actually homeless. I'm currently homeless.
Okay. How long have you been homeless?
I've honestly been homeless now for about, mm, I don't know. I don't really know, but I know it's been a while. I want to say almost like about like, I want to say like over like about to be a year. About a year.
About a year.
A year.
Okay, so you've been homeless lately.
Huh?
Okay. Okay. How do you stay safe at night? Are
Um,
you a group type of person, or do you stay to
I'm
yourself?
to myself.
Okay. And do you feel it's safer to stay by yourself or with a group?
I think it's a little bit of both. You just have to, you have to test the waters. That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel more comfortable just being off by yourself?
Hmm. Yeah. In a way, yeah.
Mimi, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you since you've been out here on these streets?
No crazy thing that happened. Only crazy thing that happened out here was baby being robbed at gunpoint and almost being like held against my will. That was pretty scary.
What was the purpose behind that? Did you owe them money or something?
I did not owe the money. I just think that the person was actually really into me and like they would follow me and stalk me through the internet and like watch videos that I had because I'd have a big following on like certain like adult content websites like OnlyFans and like that. So I
Right.
think that they would just like have a really big need to like feel like they like were like part of my life and stuff like that. So when they felt like they can like touch me in that way, like you know, like having
Bring the
that close,
fantasy to reality.
yeah, it became a really really dangerous situation and like that was the most scariest and surreal like experience.
Was it a male or female?
It was a male.
And he was a stalker.
It was for sure stalker, total stalker. Yeah.
And what happened? Like, did you run away or?
I didn't run away. I didn't say run away. I think it was more like he kind of just like let me like not necessarily leave in a sense, but he did. I just like did. I kind of gave him what he wanted, and I think once I did that, it was over for him. It wasn't as fun for him, pretty much, basically. That's what I think really it came down to.
And how did you know he was a stalker?
I know he's a stalker. I mean, how would you know somebody's a stalker? You know, like, I mean, I just like I assumed one and two, like I just like I kind of put the pieces together the way that he would talk about me, the way he would bring up certain things that I would like forget about, that I would post online, that he would remember, or like just random like weird,
Mm.
I don't know, just random things that I would just like try to like make sense of myself that I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a series of random clues that gave you that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I almost still don't believe this day.
I see you have a gash on your head. What happened there?
Yeah. Okay. So I was really high on fentanyl like a night or two ago. I was walking through the neighborhood here, and I guess I do recall like when I'd be walking, I would wake up right before I would get close enough to one of these poles like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd wake up and I'd move just in time to move out of the way, you know, to like not hit it. And I guess one of the times I didn't make it in time, and that's when this happened. And it may not look as bad as it is, but like it's it was pretty bad. It was really, really bad. Like, I'm talking like I heard my skull cracking, like whatever this is here. Like I heard this crack, the blood gushing out, the warmth of my blood is what woke me up. Really, it was a lot.
Now, did you seek medical attention for it?
I did not, and what's funny is that the cops like the next day after that came to the park because they do this routine like homeless check thing for like homeless people,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually stopped me and they like spoke with me and they were trying to literally begging me to please go get the scene and like to get help and whatnot, and like I didn't.
You didn't
And
want it.
you know, I did.
I'm surprised that healed up. That's a pretty good gash.
Yeah, I did. Like,
That must have bled for quite a while.
yeah, it did. It sure did.
Wow.
Uh,
Well, we know you're not diabetic.
no. Right.
Yeah, because that would have kept bleeding for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Mimi, what do you do for fun? How do you clear your mind out here? Do you read?
I
I
like
see
to
you have a
like.
journal
I
down
was
there.
gonna say I like to journal a lot. I like to write a lot. Writing is a really big hobby of mine. I like to write. I like to listen to music. I like to draw.
What kind of writing do you do?
I like free writing poetry a lot, and also just like writing about my daily experiences, like what exactly happened throughout the day. Like I'm talking like so specific that it's like if you read it and like I didn't know anything about me, you would know exactly what I was doing at every moment, every time, every second of the day.
You
Down to
write.
like be like you pulling up in your red Nissan, wearing what you're wearing, and, like us doing all this. Like it's like very detailed.
Now, you said you write poetry.
Mm.
What kind of poetry have you written? Can I hear one of them or something that you know?
you
Do you know
know,
anything off the top of your head? Or?
I'll be honest, I don't know anything on top of my head because all the stuff that I do, right? Something I try not to really like reread it again, or look back at it because
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's just more of a release than anything. Okay.
is that
Got you.
another thing is like most of the time I write like stuff. It's more like it's for me. It's an internal thing. It's not really for. I mean, I've never reread what I wrote at all. And another thing too is that a lot of my things get stolen a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think recently I just put it together that I think that whoever is doing it or the culprit is doing it because, like I said, what I write is very personal. I do not even for myself reread it. So like they're literally stealing this because they want to read what it is I'm writing. They're
Wow.
legitimately taking it specifically for the purpose of like reading what I'm writing.
Wow.
So it's total invasion of privacy.
So you're kind of like doing a self therapy, really. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful way of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mimi, what's your plans for the future?
I would love to get off the drugs, live a normal life, and make my family happy. But I shouldn't say but, and that's what I'm gonna work towards. Yeah.
And what part of your family would you like to make happy? Is more of your immediate family, like your mom and your siblings?
Yes,
More,
absolutely.
you're talking about your mom and your sisters,
My
really?
mom is just yeah,
Okay.
for
You
sure.
said your dad came out of prison recently. Did you link up with him and speak to him? Mimi,
No, I have not recently done that.
you haven't spoken to him.
No.
Do you want to meet him eventually?
I wouldn't mind doing that, but another reason too is like I really despise the drug crack because that was his drug of choice, and when he was out momentarily, the time when he was out, he did some things like he was on crack cocaine with my little sister Lori, and it really like fucked with me mentally,
Right.
and her too as well. Like, I'm talking about like your own father pimping you out, but like I hit a crack, like that is like something that's like I
He
don't know.
he pimped out your
Yeah,
sisters?
absolutely. My sister wants it. Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Although she was seeming very like she was down to do it because she was also on crack and whatever it was.
So he was using her like an ATM, really.
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow. To support his habit.
Yeah.
Okay, Mimi, this was a wonderful interview.
Mm-hmm.
It was great getting the insight on your situation. I wish you the best in the future,
Thank you.
and I hope everything that you plan to get achieved works out for you. Okay,
Thank you so much.
and hopefully we could do a part 2 in the future.
Absolutely, I love that.
All right, Mimi, stay safe.
Thank you too.
Bye bye.
All right.